repeatedly put my boyfriend through anonymous tests, and last night he caught me. For 8 months, I've been running what I called loyalty checks. Fake profiles, borrowed photos from random Pinterest accounts, flirty openers sent from numbers he'd never recognized. Not because he ever gave me a reason, because my ex cheated for a year straight before I found out, and when it finally came out, I felt like the stupidest person alive. I had missed every sign, ignored every gut feeling, made every excuse. I promised myself that would never happen again. So when I started dating my boyfriend 6 months after the breakup, I told myself I was just being smart, protective. He was kind and patient and funny, and never once gave me a reason to doubt him. But I had told myself the same thing about my ex. I didn't trust my own judgment anymore, so I built a system to do it for me. Something that didn't have feelings, something that couldn't be fooled. It started small. A fake Snapchat account, a photo of some girl from a private account with barely any followers. I'd send him a message saying, "Hey, do I know you from somewhere?" He ignored it, blocked it within an hour. I told myself that was a good sign and moved on with my week. But I didn't stop. I upgraded the accounts. Better photos, fuller profiles, more believable backstories. I'd pretend to be a girl who went to his high school, or someone who worked near his job, or a girl who played the same games he did. He never bit. He'd either block immediately or send back something like, "Wrong person, sorry." No flirting, no curiosity, no taking the bait. A normal person would have stopped, I know that. But every time he passed, I'd think, okay, but what if I made it more convincing? What if I caught him on a bad day? What if the right person finally got through? I kept moving the goalpost because I didn't actually want proof he was loyal. I wanted to feel safe, and no amount of past tests was ever going to give me that. 3 months in, I found his gaming Discord by accident. I was using his laptop and saw the notifications rolling in. I didn't snoop that night, but I memorized the server name. Last week I was having a rough night. Couldn't sleep. Brain doing that thing where it replays every worst-case scenario on a loop. I found the server, made a throwaway account, and joined it under a generic username. I told myself I was just going to look, see who he talked to, what the energy was, nothing serious. I searched his username and read through his recent messages. Mostly just game stuff, jokes with his friends, nothing alarming at all. Then I found one from that afternoon. It said she's been distant lately and I don't know what I did. I've been trying to give her space, but I don't know if that's making it worse. I just sat there staring at the screen. He was talking about me. He was worried about me. He was in his gaming server trying to figure out how to be a better boyfriend while I was sitting in that same server under a fake username reading his private conversations. I should have closed the app, deleted the account, gone to bed and called him in the morning and been honest. Instead, I kept going. I made a fake profile and DM'd him saying, "Hey, I think we have some mutual friends. I've seen you around." He left it on read within 4 minutes. I made a second account, this time pretending to be a guy from the server checking in on him. He replied with just, "Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, man." Short, polite, done. I made a third account, told him I was going through something similar with my girlfriend and asked if he wanted to talk. My phone rang before I could see if he'd opened it. I knew before I picked up. His voice was completely flat, not angry, not emotional, just done in a way that scared me more than yelling ever could. He said he'd known for months, said the fake accounts were obvious, that I always used the same opener patterns, always steered the conversation the same direction, always disappeared the second he didn't engage. He said he kept passing my tests because he kept hoping I'd eventually feel safe enough to stop on my own. He said he had been patient because he understood that something must have happened to make me this way, and he didn't want to punish me for it. But he said he couldn't keep performing for someone who was never going to believe the performance. I started crying. I said his name. I told him I was sorry and that I knew it was wrong and that I would stop. I would actually stop this time. He said I know, and he hung up. I've called 4 times since, sent more messages than I want to admit. Nothing. And the part I can't shake, the part that keeps running through my head, is that he was never the problem. He passed every single test, every single one. For 8 months, he was exactly who he said he was, and I just kept building new tests because I didn't know how to accept that. He knew the whole time. He knew, and he stayed anyway, right up until he couldn't anymore.